Sorry, I just had a dumb money moment.
Ah.
Yeah. Because I was fucking stupid.
Much like dumb money.
So what do you think of dumb money?
It fucking sucks.
That's always good. I love on this podcast how positive we are about cinema.
I love movies.
I always try to see the best in a movie, which is why I went into Dumb Money with an open mind. I love cinema, and I sat down at Dumb Money and I was like, Dumb Money impressed me. I'm a big I, Tonya fan.
You're a big Craig Gillespie, whatever his name is. Yeah, you're a big Gillespie head.
I liked I, Tonya. What else did he do? She did Corella, which I wasn't a big fan of.
The only film of his I think I've seen is
The Dalmatians kill her mother.
That's so funny.
But yeah, and so I sat down for Dumb Money. I was like, I'm ready for this. And then I watched 2 hours of Reddit memes, and then I walked out.
What, to blow your brains out?
Not particularly pleased.
I remember seeing the trailer.
Yeah. So what's that about?
So Dumb Money is about the GameStop thing.
Yeah.
GameStop basically was not doing great because of the pandemic, and also just in general because people weren't buying physical games anymore. So there was a whole play in Wall Street or whatever that it was gonna go down. They're gonna fall apart. They're gonna go out of business or whatever, and then they'll get a load of money from it.
Yeah.
But then because of all that, a bunch of Redditors band together and were like, we'll save GameStop.
Yeah.
And they basically, it's a lot of stock market jargon and stuff. But the basic thing is a bunch of Redditors fucked over Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the basic of it. And it's and so that's the main drive of the story. That's the main thing it focuses on is fuck Wall Street.
Yeah, look at how cool Redditors are.
Exactly, which I agree. Fuck Wall Street.
Yeah.
Just, did you have to make it so annoying? Did you have to make your whole fuck Wall Street movie so fucking irritating?
Yeah.
As a film?
Yeah, I think that's probably its biggest problem. Is it's a film about an underdog, trying to rise up against this upper establishment who are who rule from the shadows. Yet, typically those films, and I'm not saying that you can't do this, but it doesn't do it well. Typically those films try to position themselves as likable, but this one just is so incredibly unlikable from start to finish.
I think the key problem with it, and I think the immediate red flag that comes up with any film like this is it came and so this event happened early 2021.
Yeah.
Right. It is October 2023.
Yeah.
It has been 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. The book it's based on, that the movie's based on, came out last year.
Yeah.
Right. And it just has this immediate problem of this is a film that has come very, very quick after the initial event. And because of that, there's no hindsight.
Yeah.
There's no. It's just telling the story.
Yeah.
Which the problem that leads to is there's no real depth because they can't really explore it deeply.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is just so fresh in people's minds.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's I don't know, it's just, it feels, the movie from the start feels very it feels very reactionary.
Yeah.
Very much ooh, this was a big story that happened, we need to make a film out of it.
Yeah.
Because when that whole GameStop thing happened, within a week of it, there were studios.
Oh, it's like the submarine thing that's just happening now. Well, obviously it's happened very recently, and already studios are going, right, so who's on board, make a movie?
Yeah, exactly, which is I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, look, people are going to make movies about it at some point, but it's it's just, when you make them so quickly.
Yeah, there's nothing to say.
Yeah,
that hasn't already been said by the event.
It's still so fresh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's still so fresh in people's minds that, there's not really, you don't laid anything new in Dumb Money.
There's nothing interesting to say about the event.
No, yeah, you come out of this movie not knowing anything other than just seeing the story that you've heard already.
And I think that's kind of what this film feels like, is filler content. It feels like a Netflix movie.
It's
but
literally
a straight to streaming Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? One that you'd put on, like, you know, out of desperation of there being nothing else to watch.
No, yeah, like it's a film designed to be watched in the background.
Yeah.
Because it's filled with a lot of this like content.
Yeah.
That doesn't really go anywhere. Yeah. Like, yeah, so basically the main star of the film is Paul Dano.
Yeah.
As basically the guy who saw what was going on with GameStop, saw the game that was being played, and basically played it against them.
Mm.
And like, so you got that, but while you got Paul Dano, you also got a bunch of other characters.
Yeah.
That are basically also taking advantage of this stock.
Yeah.
Like Paul Dano says. And that kind of, like America Ferrera's in it.
Yeah.
And she has her whole thing, and a couple of other people also have they're all like taking part of this thing, and it's like, and the film devotes a lot of time to their story.
Yeah.
A lot of time before it just kind of abandons them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them just kind of just aren't in the movie anymore.
Very, very underdeveloped characters.
Yeah, like, and it's kind of, like some of them are okay, like one of them's a nurse, one of them, like two of them are like college students, one of them works at a GameStop.
Yeah.
Where like their manager's Dane DeHaan.
Which is
one of the weirdest
a twist reveal.
Yeah, like the fucking Dane DeHaan jump scare.
So I didn't really clock on until he pulled down his mask.
That it was Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, and he pulls down his mask, and genuinely the shock I got in that moment was terrifying.
What's he doing in this?
Fucking Green Goblin out here.
He even looks for like Green Goblin in the movie too, because he looks weird in the movie. Like he has this he's got like braces and stuff, and he's like this like slimy, like fucking like.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Dane DeHaan's generally pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
It's scary. But no, I think it's weird. Paul Dano is giving this performance that almost feels like he's in an Oscar bait movie.
It feels, his performance very much feels at odds.
Yeah.
With what the
tonally
rest of the film
and pacing wise.
I mean, it's one of them. Like a prime example that shows through, obviously, is fucking Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
In this movie,
who is doing his Pete Davidson stick.
Yeah, like he feels like he's in a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Like because anytime it's on him, he should fucking do an improv. Basically, and do it all
with a bong in hand.
Yeah, do it all of his fucking Pete Davidson lines. But it's but then Paul Dano, is in this role of he's serious, taking it seriously. He's not bad in the movie.
No, he's pretty good actually.
It's just his performance feels at odds with this film that feels like it's trying to be like a Wolf of Wall Street, dark comedy kind of thing. It's trying to go for this kind of comedy aspect, which mostly just falls flat because it's just not funny.
Yeah.
And when it does try to be funny, it usually just ends up being dated.
Yeah.
Because it relies on a lot of late 2020 humor.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yes, that's the period of time it's set in, but it also just dates the movie.
Yeah.
Where they're doing fucking TikTok dances and playing WAP and stuff.
The music in this is...
The music choices are bizarre. Some of them...
bizarre.
They just don't work in the movie. There's no real reason. They're not used in a funny way.
Yeah.
It's just... Why?
No, it's weird because it obviously is trying to be the film of today.
Mm-hmm.
With Phil, you know what I mean? WAP's in there. He does TikTok dances. Obviously he's a YouTube live streamer. There's
a lot of online terminology in it too and stuff, and Reddit all over it. There's tons of memes that you see and stuff.
Slurs.
Lots of slurs. There's a weird amount of slurs in the movie that the film just casually kind of
throws in there,
and then kind of doesn't really address.
Just lets you sit with them.
Just lets you sit with it, which yes, that's what they were using it for. And obviously there is the context of they're using these slurs because they think, that's how Wall Street sees them.
Yeah.
So that's why they're using the slurs. They're embracing it.
Yeah.
Still.
Don't know if that quite comes across.
Yeah, it still just comes. Yeah, and when there is the very vague things, any vague things of isn't this place a little bit discriminatory? It kind of pushes it to sides, but they took over Wall Street.
We're giving it to the man.
Yeah, and it's yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
But it's just it has this weird thing of it's trying to confront Wall Street, but by doing that, it's too afraid to confront anything else.
Yeah.
It wants to paint this, like, these fucking this whole Reddit, like, Wall Street Bets kind of place as this, like, beautiful place where there's nothing wrong, everything's perfect, we're all sticking it against the man, and it's like, there's no room for, like, nuance of, like, yeah, like, that's cool what they did, but also they fucking threw slaves around everywhere, and also, quite frankly, a lot of the crowds in those spaces are, like, not good people.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, like there's one part in the movie where they show, like, a meme clip of like a grave, like, being, like, held by different people and stuff, which, like, it's a gif you see, like, quite a lot and stuff, and, like, but in, like, the meme there's a image of Elon Musk when he was on a Joe Rogan show when he was smoking weed, and that one sort of meme is kind of like a perfect, like, example of just how, like, off the movie is, because you've got these stupid fucking memes that come in where you've got people like Elon Musk in it being painted as, like, ooh, Elon Musk, like, oh, like, he's just like us.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the film's not confronting the fact that, isn't that a bit fucking weird? Which obviously, of course, is that necessarily the movie's place to do that? Because it seems like the film's not interested in confronting those things.
Yeah.
Which, to some extent, okay. But also, it still just comes across as a bit like, again, this is the problem with making a film like this so recently.
Yeah.
That the film it can't really attempt to, like, look at anything else.
Yeah.
It can't explore these things because it's so fresh in people's minds that, like, it doesn't. It's just this. The film's just a very weird film.
Yeah.
And a very just kind of awkward experience, because it's like it's trying so desperately to be this, like, Scorsese kind of experience of, like, you know, like, with all the music and, like, the general vibe. I mean, there's clips of Wolf of Wall Street in the film, which, quite frankly, this should be a rule. If your movie sucks, you should not be allowed to put clips of better movies in there. That should be a rule. Because I do not. Because the whole time, every time I saw clips from the fucking Wolf of Wall Street in that movie, I was just like, I wish I was watching Wolf of Wall Street right now.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb money. Just, yeah.
No, I can completely agree with everything you've said.
Yeah.
I think it's a very unlikable time. Just poorly paced, poorly conceived, honestly.
Definitely with the pacing, it feels like it's long.
Yeah.
Which the movie's not long at all. It's
No.
like an hour and 40.
But, you know, it drags.
It really drags.
A few moments I quite liked. I did like the ending monologue by Paul Dano. I quite like Paul Dano throughout.
Paul Dano's alright in it, he's just in the wrong movie.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
I think, you know, I think there are bits that work. I quite like Seth Rogen in the first half. There's a chunk in the middle where it shifts tone slightly, and it becomes a bit more serious. It drops all the superfluous flair, all the excess, and becomes a bit more back to basics, back to, you know, I mean, dealing with this dealing with the situation rather than kind of going Reddit meme. And in that small section, I actually quite dug it. But then it drops that to dive head back.
Yeah, it goes
like,
back
you know what
into,
I mean? You know Scrooge McDuck diving into the fucking money pit?
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
No, yeah, exactly. It totally and utterly, like, the tone in the film is just all over the place.
Yeah.
And, like, the thing is, that could have worked.
Yeah.
Being like that, I think it absolutely could have worked, maybe if it was given. Because it's a film that, like, even though it drags, it also feels like it's very shallow in terms of, because, like, it does feel like it needed more time. Yeah. Which is weird to say because the film drags so much.
I think it wastes a lot of its time.
Yeah, like it wasted with a lot of shite that just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really go anywhere. And it's like, I can see the point they're making, but also it's like, but this doesn't really add any value. Like a lot of the college, like a lot of stuff with the college kids, I felt like just really went fucking nowhere. Yeah. Especially considering how much time they gave those characters.
Absolutely.
Like they do. I felt like a lot of that went nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they kind of just, you don't see them again.
No.
They kind of just stop showing them after a while.
And then eventually at the end, they just do like the whole this is what happened afterwards thing, which is...
That's kind of what the movie feels like it's just built up to now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... I mean, like, a lot of movies have that problem, like, of these, like, kind of, like, true story movies. These, like, biopics, where it's, like, you're just kind of watching it, waiting to see the credits.
Yeah,
where
how
they say,
it
like,
ends.
this is where everyone is now. Like,
yeah, which you could just...
It has that
Wikipedia.
problem. Which is, like, it just feels like you're watching a Wikipedia article.
I know what you mean.
Like...
I desperately wanted to like it more.
No, same. Like, I really, because I really like I, Tonya.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
I, Tonya, like, I feel like they've tried to replicate that energy.
He did one film before I Tonya I also quite liked. I can't remember for the life of me what it is.